good to be with you again. I don't know about you, but for me, turning to the daily newspaper, the best part is always the obituaries and the comics. And I've noticed a number of times when I look at the obituaries, a number of people who are not having any religious service for their funeral, and yet they're asking for donations to be made in their honor to St. Jude's Hospital in Tennessee. I was surprised recently to find out that Danny Thomas, at one point in his early life, had reached the low point. He had $7 left to his name, and he was giving it to the church and praying to God somehow to give him the funds he needed to pay all of his bills. And he received it. And years later, as his life went on, he found turning to St. Jude, the patron saint for the impossible cases, and he prayed that God would give him some success, and if he did, he would develop some kind of a memorial to St. Jude. And sure enough, he got the call that began his public career, his TV show, Danny Thomas Show, so popular for so many years. And so he indeed fulfilled his promise, built a shrine of St. Jude in Memphis, Tennessee, a hospital which would care for children, research hospital. And I've read that when that hospital was established, if a child had cancer, its chances of surviving were about 20%. And now, after the years of their research work, a child has an 80% chance of surviving the cancer. All very significant development because of Danny Thomas's asking God for help through the intercession of St. Jude. It's funny how often we human beings find it difficult to ask for help. And maybe it's our pride, a sense that we should be able to do everything ourselves. We hate to look weak, limited. But yes, asking for help can be a sign of wisdom and even strength. I was struck by the words in St. James' letter, "If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking." In other words, asking for help is not weakness. It is a blessing, a sign of strength, a beautiful decision that shows not only our clarity of mind, but our strength of character, to put aside our pride in order to better ourselves and those around us. How often in life we experience the difficulty. We don't know what to do, and we're so reluctant to ask for help. Sometimes it's a person looking desperately for a way of living to support a family. Sometimes it's someone caring for a loved one, which can be so very draining. And they keep pushing themselves to care not only for themselves, but for their loved one. Perhaps at times it's someone searching for a way to get through to a child, to help them grow as a useful person in society. Whatever it is, so often we do find ourselves at our limits and needing help. Maybe it's even a small little thing. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, I was given directions to seek a place on the other side of town. There's a development I never encountered before, a number of large buildings, 3 or 4 stories high, each with its big number, and I'm looking for number 142, and there's 144, and 146, and 148, and 152, and 162. I went around and around and around for a half hour before I finally found a person I could ask for help. And she went to the groundskeepers nearby and asked them to show me the way. Yeah, at times we do need help. And it's striking, I found these words in the prophet Isaiah. So the Lord must wait for you to come to him so he can show you his love and compassion. For the Lord is a faithful God. Blessed are those who wait for his help. O people of God who live in Jerusalem, you will weep no more. He will be gracious if you ask for help. He will surely respond to the sound of your cries. Those words in the 30th chapter of Isaiah. And it strikes me often as I'm praying the Liturgy of the Hour, the Church's official prayer, praying the Psalms, and how often they're asking God in different ways to help us. It's sad to know that so many people in our own society, many who come even from faithful Christian families, have turned away from God, think perhaps they can do everything, no limit to what they can know. Maybe technology has given them the feeling they can find out anything they need, do anything they want. But I suspect at some point in life they will find, no, they really need help. It's sad to know that so many people in our society, especially so many young people, with no sense of religion and therefore of faith and hope, commit suicide. That's the ultimate answer for the person who really needs help, but won't turn to God for help. Yes, in our prayer, we turn to our God, recognizing he is the ultimate source of our strength and our hope. It is indeed in our God that we find strength. I found these words interesting. Someone said, in the desperation of a life, I just needed some help. I realized that getting help is a strength, not a weakness. I've learned to surrender the weight to God and just focus on what I can do. I have a strong relationship with God now, and I find a lot of peace in that. I focus on what I can do each day and just keep pushing through. Well said. And I was struck by the words of Pope Paul VI. Nothing makes one feel so strong as a call for help. May you turn to the Lord God and ask for the help that you need in life. May you share that faith, that conviction with others. God bless you and your loved ones.